the Euro Beach Soccer League, and then again in 2016. So almost time for us to get underway. Portugal in their change strip of green of sorts today, playing from right to left on your screens. And these two sides, I've mentioned already, they know each other very well indeed. They played most recently in the final of the Super Final to determine the winner of this year's Euro Beach Soccer League, bowled forward by Ellington Andrade. Russia won that game 3-1 to lift the European title for the 5th time. That match played in Terracina in Italy in the middle of September. Russia's goals, Yuri Krasheninnikov, and 2 for Arthur Paparotny. Portugal's response from Jordan Santos in the very last minute. It was actually Portugal's only loss in the whole Euro Beach Soccer League season. They'd won 6 games in the regular season, and then 3 matches on the first 3 days of the Super Final. But then they had their one bad day when it counted most. It was revenge for Russia, having earlier in the summer lost 3-1 to Portugal in the Mundialito in Cascais. 4-team tournament that's actually been running longer than the Beach Soccer World Cup finals. Started in 1994, the Mundialito. Portugal won the encounter between the two sides there 3-1. Russia were actually 1-0 up in that match for a long time. Viktor Krishanov, the twin brother of Nikolai, scored in the first period. And Portugal scored 3 times in the final period to secure the win, and that's not far away. Bernardo Martins, who scored a very similar goal to that yesterday against Egypt, but in completing that shot he's taken some sort of blow to his right foot. Is he okay, or is he going to have to go off? I think he might have to go off here. He's hobbling around. No, he's going to stay on the sand for the time being. Against Portugal in the last period of that Mundialito Cascais meeting. Madja, Bernardo Martins, who we've just seen, and Leo Martins, his twin brother, getting the goals. Portugal finishing runners-up to Brazil in that tournament, which they hosted, and Russia finishing 3rd, just ahead of France. It's a player down for Russia. It's Alexei Pavlenko. He's got to his feet now. Let's not forget as well that these two sides met in the semi-final of the 2015 FIFA Beach Soccer World Cup. Russia were the defending champions, Portugal the hosts, and well, it was a very controversial and fiery match which Portugal won 4-2 on their way to winning the title for the first time since 2001. Cracking a long unbeaten run for Russia, who had been victorious in 2011 and 2013. 4-2 it finished that semi-final, with Portugal scoring 2 goals in the last couple of minutes through Bruno Novo and Bernardo Martins. That was the second goal of the match for Bernardo Martins. Jordan Santos, the other goal scorer for Portugal. Russia's goals on that occasion from Alexei Makarov and Dmitry Shishin. That's just recent history between these two sides. Both teams have won 5 Euro Beach Soccer League titles each. Both of them have won 2 World Cups. Portugal in 2001 and 2015. Russia 2011 and 2013. Portugal have won 7 Euro Beach Soccer League, Euro Beach Soccer Cup titles, I should say, the most by any side. Russia have won that title twice. So there's a fair amount of silverware between these two teams. But Russia, they've won this title, the Beach Soccer Intercontinental Cup, 3 times. Portugal yet to get their hands on this silverware, and boy, would they like to get the chance to do it here tomorrow evening, ideally from their perspective. Jordan Santos on the far side, top scorer for Portugal in this tournament so far with 7 goals, 2 hat-tricks. He really did haul Portugal up by their bootstraps yesterday. Completed his hat-trick to get an equaliser against Egypt in a match which was in effect a quarter-final. Paparotny denied on that occasion there. And also, Jordan Santos scored the winning penalty. Bernardo Martins with the shot.
It's a very special Snapchat filter brought to you by the Vice Sports Council. Just swipe left, and that's it.
Russia, the top scorers in the history of this event. 174 goals, just ahead of Brazil, 167. Bernardo Martins. Incidentally, Alexei Makarov, you just saw chip the ball forward there. Number 4, made some history for Russia yesterday with his hat-trick. Only the second player to score hat-tricks in 3 successive years in this Beach Soccer Intercontinental Cup. The other man being Dejan Stankovic, the Swiss bomber. And Makarov, also one of only 3 players to score in every edition of the tournament, all 7 editions. Russia and the UAE, the only ever presence. 18 sides in total have played in this tournament. Here's Makarov, getting the shot in. Scored with his right and his left foot yesterday. And Ellington Andrade having to just hold on to the ball for a brief while and then just throw it anywhere, because Portugal had rotated their entire outfield set of players off the sand, and we were waiting for the 4 replacement players to come on. One of them is Pedro Silva racing forward, denied initially by Krasheninnikov, who gets another tackle in to deny Bruno Novo. Boris Nikonorov, the overhead from him just wide.
Yeah, DJ Mo's points in his worst tonight. Just make a shot for this man. He's up top.
Ellington Andrade suspended for the second match of this tournament against Brazil, having been sent off against the UAE for handling outside his area. Hasn't looked his assured self, if truth be told, in the 2 matches he has played. His close control hasn't been perfect, or certainly not to the level that we normally expect from him. Nikonorov goes down under challenge, no free kick. Bruno Novo with that challenge. Shot across the face of goal by Ricardinho, the number 13. Nikonorov still down, clutching his right foot. And that's wide. Bone-on-bone contact. Oh, it's a tough sport, beach soccer. Good play from Romanov. Makarov was leaning backwards. I mentioned he's one of only 3 players to score in every edition of this tournament. The others are Yuri Krasheninnikov, his teammate here, and Ali Karim of the UAE. Oh, off the post, Bruno Novo. Well, it was nice close control this time from Andrade. Bruno Novo was doing a bit of goal hanging. Andrade picked him out. And the header against the post. The closest we've come to a goal so far. Romanov can't control that one on his chest. And his teammate from the Crystal Club of St. Petersburg, Krasheninnikov, tidies up. Yuri Kotov. Kotov making his first appearance of the tournament in the absence of Nikolai Krishanov, who's suspended after picking up 2 bookings. Booked against Paraguay and then booked again against Iran yesterday. Makarov at the back post, but he can't get his header on target. Ricardinho forward towards Bruno Novo, goes for the overhead and scores. Oh yes, that's a wonderful goal, Bruno Novo. Just inside Maxim Shushkov's far post. There was nothing the goalkeeper could do there. He was at full stretch. And Bruno Novo, he's not a regular scorer, But when he does score, invariably it's an important one. He popped up and scored against the UAE, the extra time winner for them in this year's World Cup in their last group game, which saw them through to the quarterfinals. And he scored again here now. So the deadlock broken in the 8th minute. And there's a player down for Portugal from that restart. I think it's Bernardo Martins, indeed it is, just taking a ball in the midriff.
All right, time remaining, 3 minutes and 30 minutes left. Score is 1-0.
So it's going to be a Russian ball, or is it? No, it's actually a Portugal ball. Martin's back on his feet and finding Andrade, his goalkeeper. Crowd building up. We're going to be pretty close to a full house by the time Brazil take on Iran in the second semi-final. Russian fans doing their best to get behind their team. That's a free kick. Leo Martins just catching the ankle of Pavlenko as he looked to burst forward.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to turn off the music for the meantime to give respect to the player time. Thank you.
Mentioned already that Russia are missing a whole host of big name players who've either retired, or Mikhail Likachev has looked beyond now. Players who were instrumental in helping secure back-to-back World Cup titles. Ilya Leonev, who's here as a member of the backroom staff, although he's not actually officially part of that team. He's standing behind Maxim Shushkov's goal at the moment, the former captain and two-time World Cup winner. Igor Shaikov, goal poacher supreme, he's missing. Yuri Gorshinsky, the veteran, outstanding defender. Andrei Butlitsky, long-time goalkeeper for Russia. He's absent because of very serious knee injury, which could, in all fairness and all truth, actually be the end of his career. Dmitry Shishin's injured as well. Shishin, part of the outstanding Russian midfield. Shishin, Makarov and Krasheninnikov. And also absent here, Anatoly Peremetin. So there's a lot of big names that they've moved on from. And there's Nikonarov trying to burst through, one of the new generation. Good save from Andrade. Nikonarov, who got 6 goals in this tournament last year. And he's got 3 already this time round. Shushkov. Anton Skarin, who's taken over the captaincy duties from Ilya Leonev. Leonev, who now coaches Lokomotiv Moscow. Shushkov's effort is charged down by Jordan Santos, and a miss kick from Bernardo Martins. Pavlenko, dainty little chip from him, but that's easy enough for Andrade in the end. Oh, good run, Bernardo Martins getting away from Pavlenko. Pavlenko battling back, but he goes down. Dealt with by Shushkov in the end. Shushkov not happy with the challenge. And that's good to see, even though he felt he'd copped a little bit of an elbow there. It was all hugs and kisses in the end between the two players. I have to say that I thought Pavlenko was a little bit lucky to get away there, because it looked as though he might have been trapping the ball between his legs. Now, you're not allowed to do that in beach soccer. If you do that, then that's an offence. Sometimes we've seen Mario Narciso, even at night time in this tournament, operating on the bench there with dark glasses, because there's a set of floodlights that shine straight across the pitch towards the dugouts, but he's just got his normal glasses on this evening. So Shushkov with the free kick, just a couple of metres in from the dead ball line, so he's about 34 metres from goal. Sends it goalwards, and that was heading in. Andrade dealt with it. Music starts again. It had just been shut off for a brief while during the call to prayer. First day of the weekend here in the UAE, Friday and Saturday of the weekend in this part of the world. Romanov goes down. Referee deciding it was 6 of one, half a dozen of the other with that clash with Ricardinho. Shishkov. Makarov, who was instrumental in that victory last night for Russia against Iran, getting a hat-trick in the first period, and he seemed to be all over the pitch all the time, bursting inside, and that's good work from Bruno Novo. They know the threat that Makarov poses, particularly when he cuts in off either wing. Equally adept with either foot. Scored his first 2 goals yesterday with his right foot, and his third with his left. Oh yes, Makarov again, or is it Shushkov? Did Makarov get a touch? I think Shushkov is the man who'll claim it. It's been given to Shushkov by the referee on this near side, so Makarov didn't get a touch, and Shushkov, who scored a goal against Belarus in the super final in Terracina in Italy in September in the Euro Beach Soccer League, gets Russia back on level terms. Makarov attempted the flick header, but he didn't get a touch, and Shushkov, who's nominated as one of the top goalkeepers in the world this year, happy to see that one go over his crossbar. And right at the end of the first period, Russia back on level terms. That'll change the team talks a little bit. Portugal taking the lead through Bruno Novo, but Maxim Shushkov with that strike from distance, putting the sides back on level terms. And we're all locked up at 1 apiece in this first semi-final of the Huawei Beach Soccer Intercontinental Cup 2017.
Okay, so the game is very, very simple. You just have to sprint, you gotta hold the goal, okay? Sprint straight, and ancient you is gonna make a big U-turn. It's the most simple explanation. Right?
Let's have a look at some highlights.
Big U-turn, when you come back, hit this ball.
You can barely fit a piece of paper between these two sides in this match so far. Cancelling each other out to an extent, you would say. That was close. Bruno Novo with a header against the post, and soon afterwards he made amends by that brilliant overhead kick. It really was outstanding, Bruno Novo. And then Shushkov, shot from distance, Andrade unsighted. Makarov attempted the flick, he didn't get it, and Shushkov will claim the goal. 1-1.
Congratulations, Mohammed. Straight up, you have your chance. Thanks for joining. All of us did not quite hit the rim, though, but Mohammed, congratulations. This is what it's yours now. It's a blue speaker and a mobile phone for Huawei. What do you want to tell everybody here?
Thank you very much. I am happy with my this. Okay, all people fine. Thank you. You must get you. Thank you, please, Aaron.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it. Give it up for this man. All right, congratulations. We got some more games coming up. What's up, dude? Okay. We got some more games coming up. So don't you guys worry. We've got 2 more standing games.
Off we go again then. Period number 2 of this first semi-final. Russia against Portugal. Winners of this match will play against the winners of Brazil and Iran, the match that's to come. (1-1) thus far. Bruno Novo with an excellent overhead, and then Maxim Shushkov, the Russian goalkeeper, scoring from distance. Second goalkeeper that we've seen score in this year's edition of the Beach Soccer Intercontinental Cup. Peyman Hosseini of Iran, he's been on the mark as well. Scored yesterday, ironically against Russia. Nikonorov, shot from Pavlenko was blocked. Leo Martins across the face of goal from him. Meanwhile, Arthur Paparotny's down. He's going to require some treatment by the looks of things. Some sort of problem with his left shin. Just caught by Leo Martins as Martins burst forward. A little bit of magic spray.
Next game is for the next match. The first break time. So that's about 45 minutes from now. We're looking for 3 players for this. This is a shootout.
Shushkov. Krasheninnikov with the tackle, trying to get the better of Jordan Santos. Does so. Great run. Oh, and he almost managed to set up Kirill Romanov. Shushkov bowls it forward, finds Romanov. Maxim Shushkov named as the top goalkeeper in this year's 2017 Russian League. Plays his beach soccer for Lokomotiv, the league champions. Also named as the top goalkeeper of the Euro Beach Soccer League Super Final in Terracina and the regular season stage in Moscow. Taking over from Andrei Butlitsky as the nation's #1. Makarov's done well, trying to pick out Krasheninnikov at the back post. Shushkov along with Mao, the Brazilian keeper, and also Peyman Hosseini. They're the 3 goalkeepers nominated, from whom the top goalkeeper of the year will be named at Beach Soccer Stars. The ceremony that will take place at the conclusion of tomorrow's final of the Huawei Beach Soccer Intercontinental Cup. Turned over the top from Andrade. Good save. Pavlenko it was with the overhead. Towards the back post, and important contribution from Jordan Santos there, getting the ball away from Pavlenko. If he hadn't been there, it was a certain goal for Pavlenko. Just too high for Nikonorov. He was backpedaling frantically to try and get his head to the ball. Goalkeepers so important in beach soccer, not just in terms of saving goals, but also creating them. The very best goalkeepers can, well, pick out a player from 30 metres away with enormous accuracy. Good shot by Bernardo Martins, and well blocked with his head by Paparotny. Skarin sets up Pavlenko with that rasping shot, but it was the wrong side of the post. Oh, and that's casual from Torres. This has gone under his right foot. Skarin. Now, was that a free kick? Yes, it was. Bernardo Martins can't believe it. Paparotny gets the free kick. Yes, definite contact. Once a player's in control of the ball, you could argue he wasn't there because he hadn't touched the ball previously, Paparotny, but if a player is in control of the ball and attempting an overhead like that, if the defender makes contact with him, then that's a free kick, or of course if it's in the penalty area, a penalty. Martins still arguing the toss, Bernardo Martins, but he's getting no change at all from the match officials. Andrade making a point as well. And Bruno Torres trying to make the point that, well look, the free kick should be over there. And in fact, Torres seems to have won the day with the match official. And the free kick is being moved out wider. Now Makarov's debating the point. Well, a good bit of work from Bruno Torres persuading the referee that the free kick should be slightly wider, so there's a slightly more acute angle for Paparotny to shoot from. Not too acute, it has to be said. Still, you'd fancy him to score from this position. Arthur Paparotny, named as the most valuable player in the Eurobeach Soccer League Super Final. That tournament in Terracina in September, when Russia lifted the European crown for a 5th time. Paparotny scores. That's really the way it is when you reach this sort of level. When you have a player from that sort of range having a free kick, invariably the ball ends up in the back of the net, even when you've got someone as outstanding as Ellington Andrade in goal. Paparotny then, his 2nd goal of the tournament. He scored a last-minute winner against Paraguay in Russia's 2nd group game. And now he's on the mark again. So Russia were 1-0 down, and now they are 2-1 up. Easy as you like. Cool as a cucumber, Arthur Paparotny there. Over the angle of post and crossbar from the restart from Bruno Novo. A reminder, Russia in semi-finals in the Intercontinental Cup. Played 6, won 5. Just that one defeat against Brazil last year when they lost 7-0. The only time they've been shut out in the entire history of this tournament. And this is their 34th match, so it gives you an indication of their consistency. Well gathered by Shushkov. Tries to find Kotov. Makarov cuts inside, he does that so well. Poured away by Andrade. And then Kotov can't keep it in play. Players down for Portugal. I think it's Pedro Silva. Indeed it is. He's got some sort of problem with his right foot. I think he might have caught it against Makarov. He's hobbling away. Recadinho, back to Andrade. Andrade, one of 3 players in this Portugal side, or just over the angle of post and crossbar, one of 3 players who was actually born in Brazil. The Martins brothers, the twin brothers, are the others. Shushkov closed down very quickly by Madja, just to hurriedly get the ball away. Recadinho, Krashenikov closing down very quickly. Russia giving Portugal no time on the ball at all. And Andrade picking up another back pass, picking up a 2nd back pass without the ball being touched by a member of the opposition. So that will be a free kick to Russia on the halfway line. Just losing concentration there, Andrade. Goalkeepers are allowed to pick up back passes. They're allowed to pick up one, but they can't pick up a 2nd one until a member of the opposition has touched the ball. That didn't happen on that occasion. So It's an opportunity for Russia from halfway. It'll be Arthur Paparotny, who's just scored their second goal, to see if he can add a third. "18 metres the distance. Beach soccer pitch roughly 36 metres in length. Paparotny's going to take this one left-footed. Drills it in, just wide. Much to the relief of Andrade, I'm sure. Once again, it seems that a member of the crowd has got a whistle. Happened yesterday. Thankfully, it didn't cause too much problem yesterday, although there were announcements for the whistler to stop. Skarin, that's a bit casual from him. He gets another bite at the cherry, though, thanks to Bernardo Martins not being able to take advantage. Paparotny, well closed down by Bruno Torres, uncompromising defender that he is. Skarin. Konarov. Bowled long by Andrade. Leo Martins finds Jordan Santos. Haven't seen a lot of him today. And you think Portugal probably need that to change in order for them to just turn things around in this match. Just less than 5 minutes to go in the second period. Jordan Santos once more. 7 goals in this edition of the Huawei Beach Soccer Intercontinental Cup so far. Good skill from him, twisting and turning away from Nikonarov. Andrade. Overhead from Bruno Torres. It was awkward for Shushkov on the half volley, but he did okay. Paparotny taking it on the chest nicely and flicked away from him then by Leo Martins. Good quick feet from the little man. Now what's the referee saying here? He's having a go at Andrade and just saying, "You keep goal and I'll referee." Oh, just over the top from Nikonarov. Flying in at pace, but not able to get that on target. Makarov, who's had a more withdrawn role today compared to yesterday. Skarin, looking for the run of Makarov, who does well to get possession up against Jordan Santos, and Makarov in the end is penalised for just a little bit of argy-bargy with the big Portugal number 5. 2 players there who've had fundamental effects on this tournament so far in 2017. Jordan Santos, 7 goals. And Makarov, well, yesterday he almost single-handedly beat Iran with his hat-trick and his indefatigable running all over the pitch. He really did seem to be everywhere all the time. Jordan Santos just inside his own penalty area with the free kick, about 28 metres from goal. Little bobbly effort. Came off Leo Martins. So it's a Russia ball. Just about 3 minutes to go in the second period. Krasheninnikov. Shushkov finds Krasheninnikov again. Closed down by Jordan Santos. That'll be a corner. Drilled in towards the near post. Good work from Andrade. Good strong hands as Romanov and Jordan Santos were in the mix. Keep your tweets coming in, incidentally. Huawei Intercontinental Cup is the hashtag. There's a whole host of tweets and fans here at the venue tweeting using that hashtag as well. So you can get some photos there, updates. Have a look. Tweet using Huawei Intercontinental Cup and we'll give you a shout out. Let us know where you're watching in the world. Let us know how you're watching. Are you watching online, or are you watching one of the numerous broadcasters? Let us know where in the world you're viewing this action. I know we've got viewers all over the planet. Makarov's done well. Found Krasheninnikov. Oh, goodness me. You'd have put your house on him hitting the target from that sort of range. He's just passed it wide. And at the other end, Makarov trying desperately to scurry back. He's just caught the ankles of Bernardo Martins. Makarov convinced it was a dive. It's just fractionally outside the area. That's good play from Bernardo Martins, because he got a cross in front of Makarov. Almost drew the challenge, if you like. Drew the contact. And that was clever play from the little Portugal number 11. And as a result of that, he's got a free kick, and it's a free kick fractionally outside the penalty area. It's a slightly acute angle, you might say, a little bit more than we saw from Arthur Paparotny a little bit earlier, as Makarov has a sit down. But still, this is a really gilt-edged opportunity for Portugal to draw level. Bernardo Martins, he's right in front of the Russian fans there, and they're doing their best to make as much noise as they can and put him off. Lengthy run. Drives it across the face of goal. Bit of a toe poke in the end. And it missed by quite some distance. That's disappointing from his perspective, and indeed Portugal's. He should have hit the target, you fancy, from that dead ball situation. He didn't, so Russia still lead 2-1. 90 seconds remaining in this second period. Skarin back to his keeper. Paparotny just over the angle of post and crossbar. Recadinho down below our commentary position. Next up, remember, it's Brazil, 14 times world champions, twice winners here in Dubai, up against the 2013 champions Iran. Brazil defending a 45-match unbeaten run, and 30 goals they scored in the group stages, including 15 yesterday against the UAE. Gosh, they are in outstanding form, they really are. Pavlenko with a shot. Good shot too. Poured away by Andrade. Skarin with the throw. Happy to go all the way back to Shushkov. Makarov just getting the ball tangled under his feet. Bruno Novo able to get possession as a result. It's a clever back pass. Andrade outside his area. Takes the ball outside his area so he can dwell on the ball. Oh, that's right in the unmentionables for Skarin. Madge's left foot volley. You don't want to be on the end of something from Madge's left foot, I can promise you. It's like a traction engine. So powerful. And poor old little Anton Skarin there, little shake of the head. He's tough as teak. He's okay, he's up and about, and that's going to be a Portugal ball. 10 seconds to go in the second period. Andrade's effort charged down by Nikonarov. Madge on the volley, but that's the end of period number 2, and it's a period which has seen Russia take the lead. It was 1-1 coming into this second period after goals from Bruno Novo for Portugal and Maxim Shushkov for Russia. Arthur Paparotny with a free kick 5 minutes into period number 2. That goal is the one that separates these two teams in the first semi-final. 2-1 Russia lead. Highlights of the second period. Once again, the two sides really cancelling each other out to a great extent. The quality has been there. That was a good effort from Pavlenko, turned over his bar by Andrade, but there was nothing Andrade could do about that. There was a foul on Paparotny as he was attempting an overhead just outside the penalty area, and the big man really enjoyed that. Nikonarov flying in with a header which was just over the top, and that was really disappointing from Bernardo Martins. He should have hit the target there with that free kick. Didn't, and Russia lead. Russia, 3 times champions, remember, and they're 2-1 up with 1 period of normal time to go.
Thank you very much once again, your Huawei hamsters. All right, chin up. We got pressure from Tahiti. All right. Yeah, how's it going, guys? We traveled a long way. Take our TV box. Walk in. A lot of fun. All right. 2-1, ladies and gentlemen. Russia 1 goal over Portugal.
So at the end of the next period, will we know who is going to be in the final tomorrow? Which of these two sides, Portugal or Russia, or will we go to extra time and even penalties perhaps? Who knows? Russia playing from right to left in possession. Third and final period of the action here in the Huawei Beach Soccer Intercontinental Cup. Krasheninnikov. Goals for Shushkov and Paparotny for Russia after Portugal initially took the lead through Bruno Novo. It's nice from Kotov, couldn't quite keep control of the ball. At the other end, Leo Martins still going. Oh, off the crossbar. He got away from Makarov, he got away from Shushkov. But with the goal at his mercy, albeit at an acute angle, he couldn't find the target. Kotov at the other end, blocked by Bruno Torres. Makarov, was that obstruction? Oh, goodness me, the free kick's gone the other way against Leo Martins. Bruno Torres can't believe it, and I have to say I'm a little bit surprised, but there's the miss from Leo Martins. He'd done the hard work, you would say, gone round the keeper, got away from the defender, but he couldn't hit the target. Well, I'm a bit surprised that this decision has gone Russia's way. A bit unfortunate for Leo Martins. I thought he was actually checked by Makarov. The referee saw it 180 degrees different. He gets one look at it, of course, in real time. Mikhail Likachev prowling the technical area like an expectant father. Makarov then, a couple of metres outside his own penalty area, so he's about 24-25 metres from Andrade's goal. Drills it in, and that ball just moved in the air a little bit, I rather fancied, judging by the way Andrade dived and then had to readjust slightly. Jordan Santos, as I mentioned in the second period, we've not seen a lot of. That's going to be handball against Romanov. Oh, he's got a yellow card. I have to say, that is very, very harsh, a booking for that. Just had his arms at his side. There was no movement of the arm towards the ball at all. And even if that was given as handball, which it was, you'd have to say that a booking on top of that was, well, very tough indeed. I think the referee is probably just saying, look, if you're going to stand there like that, you've got to have your arms behind your back. It's a tough one though, isn't it? So Romanov goes in the book. And a free kick to Portugal, Jordan Santos. Good save from Shushkov. Keeps Russia ahead. So little to choose between these two teams. Invariably there is. There's confirmation at the bottom of your screen about Kirill Romanov with the booking. Oh, just wide from Andrade. Shushkov, a relieved man there. He was flying across his goal. He was convinced that was in, I think. It wasn't. It wasn't far away either. Paparotny with the flick header. Nikonarov with the overhead. Off target. Bernardo Martins. Leo Martins. Two brothers will be 28 years of age next month. Oh, it's in! Andrade! Oh, a wicked bounce which defeated Shushkov, so we've had a goalkeeper score at either end now. And Portugal back on level terms. They needed something special, and they've got it from Ellington Andrade. There was nothing Maxim Shushkov could do about that. The ball just kicked up. It was heading just wide, I'd swear it. But that's what can happen on sand, and it kicked up at a rapid rate of knots as well. Into the roof of the net. And both goalkeepers then on the score sheet. And with 9 minutes remaining, we're all locked up at 2 apiece. Andrade was named as the top goalkeeper in the regular season Euro Beach Soccer League stage in Nazaré in Portugal. He scored a goal actually in that leg of the Euro Beach Soccer League in the 10-5 win against France. Awkward for Bernardo Martins, couldn't quite bring it under control. So which side is going to buckle first? Clash between two of Europe's titans. That just bounces over Pavlenko's head. Nikonarov. Konarov is down after that overhead with Bruno Torres having landed on top of him. Bernardo Martins coming deep to receive. Jordan Santos. Good movement from Portugal up front, but the pass is awry. 7.5 minutes remaining. Crowd building up. We're pretty close to getting in a full house, I reckon, in the public areas this evening, as you'd expect in this semi-final. Just clipped the top of the crossbar, that. Andrade having to make a save too. Shushkov and Andrade, a little personal battle between the two of them in terms of goal scoring this evening. Scarring goes all the way back to his keeper from the corner. Andrade with the punch. Bernardo Martins tackled. Jordan Santos tackled by Krasheninnikov. Konarov trying to burst away from Bruno Torres, can't do so. Real game of chess this on the sand between these two sides. Krasheninnikov looking for Romanov. He's looking for the overhead instead. Goes back to Krasheninnikov. They're happy to be patient, the Russians. Krasheninnikov's got a little bit of space. Closed down very quickly though by Bernardo Martins and Bruno Torres, and Martins has gone down. And yes, he's in a very painful place, I think it's fair to say. Nothing the magic spray can do about that. He's going to have to go off the sand. Crowd, a very good one indeed this evening. A lot of Russian fans there, you can see. In the foreground there, you can see one of the Iranian cheerleaders. There he is. Oh dear. He really is a character, I'll tell you. I can see the Iranian drums as well. They haven't started yet, but I can promise you they'll make a heck of a din over there once Iran get into action. Bernardo Martins has gone off the sand, replaced by Bruno Novo, and it's going to be Krasheninnikov who will take the throw. Towards the back post, Pedro Silva.
Shout-out time for the fans. What's the shout-out for the fans?
Halfway through the third and final period. Are we going to get a winner here in regular time, or are we heading for extra time? Makarov takes it on the chest. A shot on the turn from Kotov. Andrade in the right place at the right time. Bruno Novo, that's just kissed off the head of Kirill Romanov. That's going to be a corner. Oh, Romanov! He was trying to play the ball back to his keeper. He almost passed it into his own net. Shushkov had to dive frantically to rescue the situation there, although in all fairness Romanov did pass the ball off target, which is the first the first rule of defending, I suppose. Just taking a little bit of a blow on the elbow, Shushkov, so requires a little bit of treatment. Bit of magic spray. He's come to the touchline to receive it.
5 minutes and 19 seconds left.
Returns to his post, between the posts. And very sportingly, Portugal give the ball back to Russia. Five minutes to go. Shushkov. Down the sand he goes, gets the shot in. Andrade punches away and then catches. Skarin tangling with Madja. Makarov, little nutmeg on Ricardinho, and then a shot from distance from Bruno Novo. Skarin. Tough situation for both sides here. They can be excused for being a little bit tentative, because the longer this stalemate goes on, the longer they'll think that, as Makarov gets a shot in on the turn, the longer they'll think perhaps the next goal will win it. Good block by Paparotny from Bruno Novo. Romanov. Madja gets the better of him. Makarov does well, does very well. His shot is blocked. Paparotny. Skarin. Makarov with the overhead. Easily dealt with by Andrade. Roger just about manages to keep that in play, despite the attention of Romanov. Yes, there's definitely an element of tension out there on the sand. I won't say the sides are tentative, but with time ticking away, just over 3 minutes remaining, the impression I'm getting is neither set of players wants to make that fatal error. It could well cost them a place in the Huawei Beach Soccer Intercontinental Cup final. Somebody's going to make an error though, or there's going to be some exceptional piece of play. It's going to be needed to separate these sides. We have to have a winner. Krasheninnikov, his effort was cut out by Torres, and in the end he concedes the corner.
2:37.
And the corner goes all the way back to the goalkeeper. Again, just emphasising the point I was making. The tension really is tangible. And a reminder that next up it's Brazil against Iran in the second semi-final. That's out of play, so that's a Portugal ball. Paparotny rampaging forward, just shows too much of the ball to Jordan Santos, and then he fouls Jordan Santos. Just catches the back of his ankles. Is this the moment that could decide things? Jordan Santos was convinced he was in the penalty area there. Yeah, Paparotny, you can see there actually, looked as though he was pulling the shorts of Jordan Santos as well. That's a mistake, a big mistake by the big man. Oh, this could be a disaster for Russia, an absolute ecstasy for Portugal. Tension written all over Mario Narciso's face. It is a free kick, it's just outside the area but in a perfectly central position. But the fact that it is outside the area means that Shushkov can come off the line. Now Bruno Torres just chest to chest with Makarov. Makarov is doing his best to encroach as best he can, or as close as he can, to Jordan Santos's run. Trying to put off Jordan Santos because, as is often the case with the big number 5, he likes a long run. He's running about 15 metres. He's going to take this left-footed. He's even out of frame there. You can't see him. That's how far he's running. And again, the referee just insisting that the players are 5 metres away from the ball. Jordan Santos against Shushkov. Is this the moment that will decide who will go into the final? Goal! Jordan Santos. He just doesn't miss, does he? The mistake by Paparotny, and Jordan Santos takes advantage. It's his 8th goal of this Huawei Beach Soccer Intercontinental Cup 2017. Madja saying, come on, he's saying to his teammates. So's Jordan Santos. Well, you really would have put your house, all your belongings, and quite a few other things, I think, on Jordan Santos scoring from that sort of range. And if you did, he didn't let you down. Russia, desperate times now. Krasheninnikov, save from Andrade. Russia just losing that one semi-final out of 6. Oh, goodness me, Bruno Torres almost put it into his own goal. He's conceded the corner. To the back post, Andrade brought it away. Skarin, Makarov trying to find some room for a shot. Gets the shot in, and it's just wide of the upright. Time ticking away. Russia, remember, got that late winner last night. The night before last, I should say, against Paraguay. That was after Paraguay had got a late goal of their own to draw level, but this is a A different kettle of fish entirely, the semi-final. Is it going to be a first final appearance for Portugal? Just under 50 seconds to go. Makarov back to his keeper. They need to get the ball forward, Russia. Krasheninnikov. Skarin. Bruno Torres is through. Oh, if that had gone in, that would have been curtains for Russia. Leo Martins putting it over the top. Less than 30 seconds to go. Makarov, is there some magic in his left or right foot here? Shushkov was up with the attack, and his volley is off target. 10 seconds. Surely that's it. Surely Portugal are in the final. Jordan Santos. Yes, they are. Portugal have done it. Russia lose a semi-final for the second year in succession. And look at the response on the Portugal bench. They're there, their first ever beach soccer Intercontinental Cup final. This is one piece of silverware.